Racegoers are lining up outside Flemington Racecourse, waiting to enter that racecourse to get the best vantage point for today's Melbourne Cup. Joining me from outside the track at the moment, but he'll be heading inside shortly, Ray Thomas, the racing editor at the Daily Telegraph. Good morning to you, Ray. I tell you what, with the stoush that's going on between New South Wales racing and Victorian racing concerning the barbs that are being fired from Peter V'landys, is Melbourne Cup, in your view, still the number one?
Yeah, good morning, Pete. Good morning, Laura. Yeah, look, it's still Australia's great race, isn't it? And this is like grand final day for the sport, and it's a day when all Australians, I guess, come together. Hopefully it unites us rather than divides us, doesn't it? Because it's a cultural icon, and there's been a massive build-up to the race, as always, Pete, and can't wait for this afternoon.
All right, how's the weather? How's the track looking? What's the latest there, Ray?
Yeah, gee, the weather's magnificent. Bit cool this morning down here in Melbourne, but beautiful sunny day. So yesterday, a lot of rain. The track's currently a soft 6, but Flemington is a remarkable surface. It does dry out very, very well. So, look, I think tops, it'll be about a soft 5. It might get back to a good 4, but it won't be the bog that we all thought it was yesterday. And I think every horse will get their chance this afternoon.
Okay, so who are the conditions going to favour Ray?
Look, I think Finch ticks all the boxes, as they say in racing, Pete. He's a horse who handles all track conditions, so a little bit of given the track's perfect. I think actually it's ideal for almost every horse in the race. But Finch, his form leading up to the Melbourne Cup has been excellent. I loved his run in the Caulfield Cup when he drew a wide barrier. He was never on the track. It was a terrific effort to finish 5th. In the Melbourne Cup, he's drawn barrier 4. Last year, he ran in the Melbourne Cup. He was an inexperienced, much younger horse, obviously, and he ran a very, very good 4th after drawing a wide barrier. Today, he's physically a much stronger horse. He's run a perfect gate in gate 4. He'll be up on the speed throughout, and he's one horse that you know will run a strong 3,200 metres. I think he's the horse to beat. Okay,
what about some of the raiders, Ray? The Japanese stayers have been going quite well this spring so far. Mer de Glace obviously winning the Caulfield Cup. How's it looking today, and what are its chances?
Yeah, look, traditionally, Pete, the Caulfield Cup is the best form going into the Melbourne Cup, and to be fair to Mer de Glace, he was absolutely outstanding in the Caulfield Cup. But a couple of little negatives about him. He's never raced on anything other than a very, very firm track, so will he handle this afternoon's track conditions is a question mark, and also his ability to run a strong 3,200 metres. He'd never been beyond 2,400 metres before now. He's got a kilo penalty for the Caulfield Cup up to 56. He's weighted right up there. I think he's still going to run very, very well, but I just have that little niggling doubt about him at 3,200 metres.
Okay, what's the storyline? What, in your view, there's so many storylines around Melbourne Cup Day, Ray. What is your favourite storyline today? You know, you've got Chris Waller, who's the best trainer in Australia at the moment. He's never won a Melbourne Cup. You've got Damien Lane, you know, who's going for to top off, what do you call it, the majors, by winning the 4 major races this season.
The calendar, yeah.
Yeah, that one there, mate.
The calendar Grand Slam, yeah.
That's it, the Grand Slam. I was trying to think of that. So what is the storyline today that you favour?
Yeah, I'll take your pick. One thing we'll know, Pete, is at the end of the day, we'll have another great Melbourne Cup story, and this is actually my 25th Melbourne Cup. I'm showing my age now, but each and every year something extraordinary happens on this day. I'd love to see Chris Waller win it. He's had an amazing spring, winning obviously the Everest and the Golden Eagle, and now he's got a great chance in the Melbourne Cup with Finch. I also think his other runner, Young Star, is one of the better outsiders in the race. But as you mentioned, Damien Lane is going for the calendar Grand Slam. Craig Williams has won the other 3 majors, never won a Melbourne Cup. He's trying to complete the Grand Slam. You can go for every horse. There'll be a great story out of this Melbourne Cup. Yeah,
Young Star carrying the least weight as well. Ray, are there any female jockeys out there today mixing it up with the boys?
Not in the Cup field, but there is throughout the course of the day. But I think with this Melbourne Cup, a lot of these jockeys had locked in their rides weeks and months in advance. So it was difficult, unless you're on one of these stayers, to get into the Cup field. I'm sure one day we'll see another Michelle Payne, but it won't be today.
Yeah, okay. Ray, just finally, and on a more serious note, the protesters will obviously be out there this year as they do every year. What's your view of what's happened, you know, in recent weeks with the story that 730 Report did recently? Is there going to be suitable change in the industry when it comes to the welfare of horses?
Look, Pete, it's a really difficult question because, look, the industry is under siege in a lot of respects, but it has made a lot of inroads in the last few years, particularly with animal welfare and the rehoming of retired racehorses. So the industry's got a long way to go still, no doubt, and there'll be protesters today about the welfare issues concerning racing, but the industry is tackling it. There is certainly improvement to be made, but I think when it comes to the Melbourne Cup, sure, everyone's got a right to protest, but this is Australia's day, one day of the year when we all come together. You hope this race unites the country for a change rather than divides it.
Yep, all right, Ray, great stuff, and there you go, you had it, he said it already. Finch is the one to watch out, to throw your money behind today. About $8.50, I think I checked at the last moment in the ad break before I came to your race. So there you go, Ray Thomas, appreciate your time. Thanks very much for joining us.
And very well said about what this event should do from Ray. It's about an event that should bring the country together, not divide it.
Yep.
And we see that every Cup day. I think we should see it again today.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun too. I mean, you got the sweeps, everyone enjoys themselves and whatnot. So good luck today. Punters?
Exactly. Good luck.